A very warm welcome to the Made in China podcast. And today we are very, very happy because number one, we have a female guest after a long time again. And number two, also out of personal interest, especially for Damian, we are very happy about the brand she represents. Welcome Annie Yang, General Manager from Jägermeister. Jägermeister, a very famous brand in Germany and in China, all over the world. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you very much. Hi, Thomas. Hi, Damian. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. It's our pleasure, Annie. So good to see you again after seeing you a couple of weeks.
Nice to see you again.
Yeah, perfect. And one of our quick questions is, which city other than Shanghai would you like to live in for a while?
I would like to say Berlin.
Oh,
Berlin?
Yes, of course. It's so dynamic, diverse city full of energies. This is the city will present our brand, Jägermeister.
Okay, yeah, very interesting. And icebreaker question number two is, what does a good free evening look like for you?
Evening? Then probably it's not that high energy. I think, you go along, have the city work, I have to say, in Shanghai, with your friend, have some drinks, nice coffees or cocktail, pre-drink before the dinner. You just relax and releasing for yourself after whole day work.
fantastic. That sounds good. So let's imagine you get unexpected guests at home. What is the one dish you could cook or order?
I'm not a good cook, to be honest. I can do the famous Chinese dish, which is 番茄炒蛋.
I can do this one, yes.
Everyone loves it, yeah.
Yes, this tomato
scrambled egg.
Tomato scrambled egg. Yes.
Yeah.
The
Everyone can do it, right?
favorite of all Laowai. They all love it. Yeah, so once again, welcome to the podcast. We introduced also already your position. And for those who don't know you, can you introduce yourself a little bit, please?
Sure, thank you very much. Hello, all the listeners of Made in China podcast. We're really excited to be here and share this conversation with you all. My name is Annie Yang, as Thomas already introduced. I'm the general manager of Jägermeister China, based in Shanghai. My job is simple, promoting one of the famous German brand. I don't know whether you agree to it.
Yes, definitely. It's one of the most famous, right, Damien?
Absolutely.
Okay, great. So promote this Jägermeister brand in the Chinese market.
Especially when it comes to food and beverage, there's not a lot that we are famous for, Germans, but Jägermeister is definitely one very famous brand.
Oh, great. Happy to know.
Yeah.
And, well, you have worked for Jägermeister in China now for more than 16 years. That is a tremendous time.
Yeah, it is
tremendously
indeed.
long
It
time
is
to work for one company
Yeah.
in China. How did your journey with the brand begin? Tell us more about the beginnings.
Wow, Damien, you really have quite a memory. I joined Jägermeister when it set up the first office outside Germany in China.
Oh.
That was in 2008. It actually has been 17 years. So that was the year that Jägermeister officially entered the Chinese market. Back to that old days, there's only one business model for Jägermeister global market, which is having the exclusive distributor partner to run the whole business from marketing to sales in each market. But the company decided to adopt a different business model just for Chinese market. We established a representative office in China and have our own marketing team to manage our brand building here in this huge potential market. That was the beginning of the journey.
Yeah, very interesting. And looking back at all these years, is there one moment where you would say you recognized, Chinese people actually love to drink Jägermeister, and one moment where you thought, this will be very successful here?
Okay, it actually has taken us like 8 years to build a solid foundation in Chinese market from 2008 to 2016. At that time, there's a few people know us, but all the hard work we've done led towards the tipping point. Then the skyrocketing happened. if there's a specific reason, particular reason I would like to highlight in the past years was like, I think 2 of them. The first one is we win the club channel.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The second is we catch the social buzz in Douyin also as the TikTok. Right?
Yeah.
So back to 2019, Jägermeister was the only hot-selling spirit brand in big club channel, other than brown spirit. You may know brown spirits is big in China, but we were the first non-brand spirit brand, was so successfully in big club channel. While Jägermeister related video received 500 million viewers in Douyin.
Wow.
Can you imagine it? And actually, most of them are UGC content.
Mm-hmm. When was this moment on Douyin?
Yeah, it was 2019.
Okay.
Yeah, 2019.
No,
we were
too far away,
so
6 years.
successful. And this number, 500 million viewers, is 10 times more than the second brand had. Yeah.
Wow.
Crazy.
That was really a huge success.
Wow, absolutely. So basically, yeah, I mean, I remember in 2017 when I founded the company, and then I also looked at Jägermeister and I was looking at the revenue growth, and I think it was that year around 2018, 2019 when you guys really had this rocketing success on Tmall, right? Yeah, Douyin, like TikTok here in China, they did not have the store function yet. So basically, you guys did the marketing on Douyin, and then you reaped the traffic on Tmall and JD, correct?
Mainly in on-premise channel, not off-premise channel. E-commerce, it belongs kind of more than off-trade channel. The share of our business is 85 to 90% come from the on-premise channel. 10 to 15% come from off-trade and e-commerce. So we were so successful on on-trade channel. As I mentioned, we are the only non-brown spirit brand was so successfully in the big club channel, which is the huge volume source for our brand. Not for our brand, but for the most imported spirits brand.
Okay. Yeah. So it's like on-premise, like clubs, restaurants, and then comes e-commerce, and then comes maybe like also some offline retail, like Sam's Club or City Super, 7-Eleven, or not at all?
For other international spirits, their footprint is broader than ours. They from the on-trade channel to off-trade channel to e-commerce to Sam's Club, supermarket, hypermarket, CVS. For us, it's still more on-trade, not only big club having big problems in recent years, but also small clubs, bars, KTVs, live house, etc. Then the second important channel for us is e-commerce as well as CVS, and for nowadays it's new retail. Sorry, I forgot about that. The new retail become more and more important for us.
Yeah, tell us a little bit more about that, because China in 2008 is so different to China in 2025. How did your brand strategy and the whole situation change to nowadays?
Oh, this is, I have to say, huge difference, because the total ecosystem has been changed. Before it was like mass media era. Now it become digital social media era. So people's behavior, especially young consumers' behavior, has totally changed. Not totally, but significantly changed. Okay, let me ask you a question first. Do you know when did social media start to emerge in China?
Weibo was there very early, right? I think 2010.
Yeah.
And then, when I started doing social media in 2016, I started with Weibo, with WeChat, and with Youku, doing videos at the time.
Youku,
yeah. But WeChat, I think WeChat was launched in 2012, right?
Yeah.
Or something, 2011, 2012.
Yeah.
And then I read this, what was it?
QQ was it before, yeah, QQ.
QQ is, okay. I have some data to share with you.
That's great.
Weibo started from later 2009. WeChat launched in 2011, but their moment and the public account started in later 2012. Then the Xiaohongshu, Little Red Book, started at the end of 13. And TikTok, Douyin, they was launched in September 2016. It has only been 9 years till now.
Crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy, is it? Then let's look into the consumer behaviors. In 2009 and 2010, people only spend like 20 to 30 minutes on social media and mainly on their PC, not smartphone. And the main contents was in text or image format. There's a few videos back to 2009, 2008 days. Today, it is very common to see people spend like 2 to 3 hours every day on social media. And mainly they stare at their smartphone, no longer use PCs. So, and the short video and the live stream become the main contents. So you see the total media environment has changed quite a lot. Therefore, people's behavior, consumers' behavior, consumption behavior all changed. Yeah.
Crazy. Indeed. If we think about it, a lot has happened in the last 15 years, right?
Yes,
like exactly
right.
the time you had
exactly.
for 17 years with Jägermeister, and there couldn't be more like bigger changes, right? Weibo, WeChat, Red, Douyin, and now TikTok is conquering the world. It's crazy. So how I understand it, and that's also very interesting approach, you have for China your Chinese exclusive distribution partner.
Yeah.
He's buying from Germany, he's importing the products, and then he's pushing them and distributing them into the basically offline and online channels. And you have a rep office, and there you are responsible for building the brand, basically. So how did you localize Jägermeister for the Chinese market so successfully, while also keeping the brand's original identity? Because I think that's isn't that almost always very important for international brands that they come here and say, I don't want to lose myself completely, but I give you some freedom and flexibility?
Yeah. Oh, this is really a good question. Actually, I believe that localizing a foreign company, foreign brand, while keeping its core identity unchanged, is crucial for all international brands, not only us, to be successful in the Chinese market. I think, localization is not about to be a Chinese brand, but make the brand meaningful and appealing to Chinese consumer, which means an international brand fundamentally we first to adhere to the core value, core DNA of the brand, including the brand purpose, including the heritage, brand positioning, etc., etc. Then translate the brand story into Chinese narrative. This is very important. So I think probably, let's take Jägermeister's Chinese name as an example.
Yeah, I don't even know the name. The Chinese other Jäger, right?
Jäger.
Jäger.
This sounds very like as Jäger, right? Jäger.
Absolutely.
Jäger. So, first of all, what do you think? Personally, I don't believe there's many Chinese people can read such a long German word written in Gothic font with small 2 dot on top of A.
Definitely not.
So, and this one German word, if we translate phonetically, it becomes 5 Chinese character like Jägermeister, right? And it's meaningless, make no sense. People cannot remember it. So we simplified the brand name into 2 syllables. 2 syllables or 3 syllables is the common name for all Chinese.
Yeah,
right?
very smart decision, actually.
Yeah. And then we need to choose meaningful words to make this Chinese name meaningful. And, it can reflect the spirit and the characteristic of the brand. So Jäger, literally it means wild in style. This is what the brand is, right?
Absolutely.
Then phonetically it's Jäger. It's very close to Jäger.
Yeah.
Is it good name?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, good job. And this is also a lesson for a lot of international brands, because there are some brands who really did a good job.
Yes, like BMW.
BMW, Bauma,
奔驰
Mercedes-Benz,
大众
also
yes.
did it good. They have like different approaches. Like Volkswagen is not about the phonetic,
It's
but Dazhong is like also a very good name, and you also did a good name. Then there are some very. I mean, in German we have some company names that are crazy complicated. Like we have ThyssenKrupp. Böhringer Ingelheim. This is for Chinese. It's unbelievable.
No, it's unbelievable.
So, yeah. So this is also a good lesson for all the international brands, and I'm sure some Chinese partners also helped you with finding these names. And Damian is also a trusted partner for a lot of companies here in China, and we know it's for brands. It's very important to work with partners. How do you see your relationships with partners here, distributors, TPs, and so on? How do they help you to be successful in China?
Well, this is a very important question, because a right partner play a very important role in developing your business in this massive market. So, China is a huge country. Of course, most people know there's 1.4 billion population lived on this 9.6 square kilometer land. But do you know how many cities does China have?
Well, I know there's certainly well above 100 cities with more than 1 million inhabitants, right? So this is more than my hometown, Cologne.
Yeah. So let me give you some numbers. We're a German company. We like to.
Yeah, Annie, you're very well prepared. This is also a lot of lessons for us today.
So China has total 694 cities, almost 700 cities from, tier 1 metropolises to tier 2 country level cities. And there are around 700,000 towns and villages. It is a massive market, is it? So, China is not one unified market, but hundreds of segmented markets with different economic development levels, with different policies, regulations, distinct consumer behaviors. The competitive landscape is, quite diverse. So the complexity of this market determines it's hard for international company, for foreign company to develop business solely on their own. They need a partner. They need a local partner. The local partner can help them to decode the complexity and can help them to interpret the nuances. So I really think good partners, they play multifaceted role in building international brands in China. They could be your regulation and compliance navigator. They could be multi-channel expertise. They could be your on-ground sales force. They can be your brand advocate, can be your marketing amplifier, logistic and operation backbones. And another important function of them, they can, mitigate the financial and operation risks for you to doing the business in this market, because the overall environment is so complex. Yeah. So for international company, we also have to realize that, it's not possible to find one perfect partner. I don't think it even exists in the market, a partner who can do everything perfectly, who's know everything perfectly. So I believe that choosing a right partner is about, choosing the most suitable one, which can match your needs at a different business stage, instead of choosing so-called a best company. No, it's the most suitable is more important than the overall quality or size. So go back to your question. Let's look at our Jägermeister case in China. When we entered China, we partnered with Telford. Actually, that was the time they entered China, mainland China market from Hong Kong. They are a Hong Kong family-based company. But the problem is when we entered China together in 2008, we didn't match each other very well. Their main business was wine, not spirit. And their business scale is not big, it's small. Channel-wise, a different distribution capability is not good enough for us. So in 2011, we decided to change it to Carlsberg. Mm-hmm. Leverage with Carlsberg's big extensive distribution network, Carlsberg helped us to expand the penetration. But the problem is our business was too tiny for a giant beer company, of course. So we're not in their priority list. The consequence is we have got a listing, but we hadn't had rotation. Our bottle just sat in the back bars, didn't move to anywhere. So this is the problem, which means probably they were not the best suitable partner for us. Then in 2015, we decided to change our distribution partnership back again to Telford. Why? Because at that time, Telford has built a decent, scalable distribution network. And they has this experience of distribution in international spirits like Demo Whiskey, Story Vodka. So strategically wise, we fit to each other very well. So that's why we decided to partner with Telford again, and we work with them shoulder to shoulder and have achieved great success in the past decade. That's the story of us choosing and working with local partner in China.
Wow, great. So that's a cool story. Yeah, started with them, then changed partners, and then went back when they had the capability. And you guys have always been in charge for marketing and branding.
Yes,
actually. Very interesting. So now, today or in most recent years, online has become more and more important, at least from a marketing perspective. Still, for you guys, offline is, of course, much more important as a channel. But how do you balance online and offline channels today? And what has changed in the most recent years? Also, maybe because I'm in e-commerce, right? Maybe also looking into your perspective of Tmall, JD, Douyin, and Red.
Yeah, it's no doubt that, the importance of online channel is constantly growing. And the brand's investment on social media has been significantly increased. I don't know whether my numbers are correct or not. The proportion of digital media investment to the total media budget has increased from 5% a decade ago to 40 to 50% recent years. And some industry like FMCG, beauty, their investment rate on digital media are even higher than 50%.
Yeah.
This is really significant change. However, personally, I believe, at least for our brand experience still need to be brought to consumer offline. And the consumer could only have more institutive and profound impact if they personally experience it. This is my belief. And for Jägermeister, we are people brand. We are brand for people to gather together, to celebrate, to release, enjoy the moment with each other. I cannot imagine how lonely it could be if you drink a Jägermeister by yourself alone at your home. It's not our brand. So, I do believe consumers need to physically taste it, experience it, which is hard to make happen just online, right? So we must constantly to bring the liquid to consumers' lip, which also cannot do online. So we still need to focus on offline instead of betting all on online. Of course, we will make the best use of social media to broaden our brand awareness, to reach more consumer. But definitely, we will relentlessly to increase product try and other brand experience on ground. This is our strategy.
Yeah, and China is the country of baijiu and huangjiu, the Chinese liquors, and recently also of pijiu, beer, and pudaojiu, wine, also getting very popular. So from your expert point of view, how would you describe the competitive landscape in China's alcohol market today, especially between so many international and local brands?
Probably because I have been worked for a German company for 70 years. I will start from number again. I hope it's not too boring, No,
it's very interesting. Very interesting.
Thank you. So look at these numbers. In the past decade, the total volume of Chinese baijiu dropped by 53%, but their value increased by 44%.
Oh.
During the same period, imported spirits, we grew by 63% in volume and 42% in value. So these numbers, I believe, tells us that the competition in Chinese market is complex and intense. It's, not only among the imported spirits itself or among the baijiu itself. It's cross competition everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
The baijiu, their volume decreased by the half, but the value increased. Value actually, almost doubled for the remaining part of the volume, which indicate, I believe, that their market first shrunk significantly. Second, cheaper products has been heavily phased out. That's why the competition among the baijiu, among the local brands, it's super fierce because overall it's a downward market. Again, they are facing a lot of negative impact from, government. I don't know whether you know a lot. First, before it was corruption. Now it's like, what is it? Curling banquet, something,
Yeah.
Right. This kind of stuff from the government, from policy, from the consumption power, from the consumer behavior and the taste. Young consumers, they don't like the baijiu, don't like the taste. They, and overall the drinking trend, the low ABV, health cultures, they are all negative impact to baijiu brand, as well as, the old images of the whenever baijiu, fangjiu brand. So, there's a large number of local brands. They are scrambling for shares in a constantly shrinking market. So you can imagine how fierce the competition is. For imported spirits, our volume and value both increased by mid-digital rate, and our volume overall for the industry grew ahead of value, which means before it was really set at a prestige level, prestige segment. Now we have penetrated to relevant lower tier markets, and we have broadened our occasions and the channels, and we penetrate to mid-level, mid-price level segment. And all this kind of channel and occasion, which used to be absolutely dominant market of Chinese local baijiu and wanqiu. So we take share from baijiu. But for baijiu, I don't know whether you have heard or received any updates from this industry. Their strategy also changed. They cannot only defend themselves in this old territory. They become all around offense. They also try to compete with international spirit brands for young consumers. For various occasions, they launched a lot of different SKUs, new products with low AB, with various flavors, with more modern packages, try to, recruit more consumers, pack more occasions. For us, international brands, I think we must continue to spend our territory to take more market share from local brand, of course. I don't know whether, Damian, you remember it or not. This is my favorite question. How many percentage does total imported spirits take in the total Chinese spirits market? Do you remember the number?
Now you're probing me. But I would say 1%.
You are very close, but it's better than 1%.
See, I forgot I was drinking too much Jägermeister on that day after.
Great. It's actually 1.2%.
No, okay, not too bad. See, I had one Jägermeister shot too many after the conversation.
But, back the older days when I joined the industry, it was 0.5%.
Wow.
So, how big the market potential is for our international spirits brands. And definitely, we need to take some market share from traditional baijiu brands.
Yeah, and the one way to do this is to approach the young consumers. You already talked about them. They don't really like the baijiu taste anymore. Damian and me were an exception. But how have young Chinese consumers changed in the way they discover and engage with alcohol brands since you started?
Yeah, okay. My observation is the young Chinese generation has drastically changed, I think, the way how they discover and engage with the alcohol brand and product. I think it's actually not only on alcohol product or brand, but overall all the brand and products. Because of, as we discussed about it before that, because of the total media environment has been changed, the way they receive messages, the way they how to explore the world have been changed. I think this is driven, this change is kind of driven, this kind of change is driven by both objective factors and the subjective reasons. Objectively, I think, again, the faster growing of digital technologies, the rapid evolving of social media, it's all this prepare the young consumer from offline driven to online first. Everything they just go to online first, check online, then go offline. Then because of this, they become, they shifted from a passive exposure to the brand to a active exploration. Our role also has changed. For brand, we come from like a one-way messaging provider, messaging delivery to the consumer become like a two-way interaction with consumer. The consumer, they no longer just listen to the brand's advertising, listen to brand's promotion, or even they're not only limited to their friends' recommendation. They check online. They would like to refer to this KOL, KOC created content, even some ordinary netizen created contents like what is in Xiaohongshu. They prefer these messages from this kind of resources instead of brand giving resources. They are no longer a receiver of the brand message or the user of your brand product. They become like a commentator. They become like a co-creator of your brand. This is the change, the role of both consumer and the brand in this. The whole brand communication has been changed. Both role has changed, not only their role or our role.
Absolutely. There's a lot of differences, and there's also, you said it in the very beginning, with how many cities does China have, and it's very different in terms of tier levels, right? Shanghai is different than Chongqing or whatever. When I was in Chongqing many years ago, actually, I was walking down one of the street food streets. Yeah? And then I've seen there was something that reminded me of Jägermeister. And it looked a little bit similar, but it has a similar name like Jäger or something. I said, okay, this is a typical Chinese, I wouldn't say a fake kind of product. So that was very interesting. I thought, okay, maybe this is like a second or third tier city thing. So what differences do you see between the tier 1 cities and lower tier cities and how people discover and consume the brand, and maybe also towards competitors that come up?
Demi really mentioned the pain point of our brand, of a lot of international brand. This copycat, this counterfeit are everywhere in the lower tier cities. But in the tier 1 cities, it's relatively less than they are in the low tier cities, because the difference between the developed cities and the developing cities. Again, because the country is huge. Tier 1 cities like Shanghai, Guangzhou, Chengdu, Shanghai, Guangzhou, Shenzhen, Beijing, and the so-called new tier 1 cities like Chengdu, Hangzhou, etc. They are very well-developed city with high disposable income. Their life pace is faster than what is in low-tier cities. And they are more global exposure. They have more sophisticated ecosystem. People in tier 1 cities, I have to say, have relatively broader vision, because through the VPN, they can access directly to the internet, to the international platforms, international information, international trend online, which is more, I believe, relatively limited for low-tier cities. People in low-tier cities still live in a kind of world like garden ecosystem. And then because people especially the young generation lived in tier 1 cities, they have more information, more resources. So in real life, they can adapt the trend, the global trend, international trend quickly in their daily life. And also another reason is there's an abundance of offline stores in tier 1 cities everywhere. So many, commercial centers everywhere. So there's a lot of chance can discover and experience brands from online to offline. But for low-tier cities, first, the ecosystem are different. Their habits, of course, their income is lower than tier 1 cities, and the physical stores is also less than what they are in tier 1 cities. I believe that, in low-tier cities, they are more key to those local KOLs voices like Li Jiaqi, Wang Hong, how to say?
Influencer.
The local influencers' voices. They really, would like to follow their introduction, their recommendation, follow what they believe them a lot more than consumers in tier 1 cities.
Yeah, very, very interesting insights. And we're sure that there's a lot to come. And as a last question, I would be interested in what opportunities do you see in the coming years for Jägermeister and also other international brands here in China?
Because there's only 1.2%.
Yeah, there's a lot of opportunities, right?
There's a great potential of international spreads to grow in this market for sure, no doubt. We have bright future. I think we can talk about it from different aspects. Like first, geography-wise, it's big. We have 700 cities and 700,000 towns and villages. Like geographic-wise, it's a massive market. Then demographic-wise, we have 1.4 billion people. The LDA plus population base is still huge. Like for us, Jägermeister, our target consumer is LDA to 29. China has total about 2.8 million Gen Zs. Again, huge number, like even bigger, even more than the total population of a European country, like 2.8 billion Gen Zs. So there's so many core consumers for us to recruit. The consumer base is enormous for international brands. Then thirdly, is occasion-wise. Imported spirits, as I mentioned, is still very concentrated in entree, and we call it modern entree, which means it's like the nightlife entertainment occasion, like bars, clubs, KTVs, live houses, etc. But the primary drinking occasion for Chinese people is meal occasion. I think probably after so many years living in this country, you know that people drink a lot at meal occasion, at the dining table, whenever in restaurant or at home. This is the baijiu dominant territory. So think about it. If we can conquer, we can unlock this occasion, how much growth we can have as an international spirits brand. It's massive. Is it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Warm Jägermeister while having the Pangxia. Yeah,
it's really a great idea, warm Jägermeister with our herbal ingredients. It's perfectly matches the
Harry crab.
Yes.
Yeah. And we have to say Glühwein, mulled wine is a big thing already in
China.
Shanghai.
Yeah.
Everyone loves it, and for wintertime it's perfect. Yeah, so there's a lot of potential, and we're looking forward on where the journey goes. And I have to say, Annie, you were one of the best prepared guests on our podcast. A lot of numbers. We learned a lot. Thank you so much for the insights.
Thank you very much, Annie. Looking forward to drinking the one or the other Jägermeister together.
Yes, sure. Why not? Let's have one at the Christmas market and let's Prost.
Let's do that. Cheers. Prost.
Cheers. Prost.
Come back.
Thank you very much.